everybody, and welcome to Magic the Interviewsening, where we quest for ancient secrets and trade secrets, and we are your #1 source for Magic Interviewsening. I'm Reuben Bresler, and I'm here with avid tapper of cards, Evan Erwin. Evan, thank you for joining me.
It is my pleasure.
You created the Magic Show in your mother's basement in 2003 in your previous home in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Is that not accurate?
I was married with children when the Magic Show got started.
Oh, really? I just assumed I'm sorry, that's my fault. I just assumed that, since if you had family or friends or a job, you wouldn't spend 8 hours a day inside editing footage of people playing cards.
This is true.
It's just my assumption. That's my fault. You do what you do.
I appreciate that.
That's all on you, bud. Tell me about why you started the Magic Show.
I started the Magic Show because I feel like I have a way to spot or a gift at spotting trends. And I saw that YouTube had just came out about 6 months prior, and I was like, this is the future. Why is no one else making YouTube videos about Magic? This is crazy. And so I started using desktop recording software and decided to essentially go, well, if I can make these kind of funny videos, what if I used it in an article? We had at the time what was called Battle Royale, where 2 writers would pick decks and sort of play each other and then write about it. Well, what if you could actually see those players duking it out? So that was sort of where it began, and I began my first video content on the website ever with the Battle Royale programs. I then turned that into like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if there was just like a video article instead of just this match that I had on Magic Online? And I originally pitched it as a free form, no script, and then I was informed that in order to get paid I had to write a script, so I wrote a script. And that's pretty much where it went. You're
best known for being the creator of the Magic Show, but your day job is as media and technical manager at Star City Games. What is it you say you do here?
Man, I try to succinctly put this because it's also very difficult to explain to my relatives. If you see anything on StarCityGames.com or you hear anything from StarCityGames.com, I probably had a finger in that pie in some form or fashion.
Interesting.
Whether it's an announcement, it's a feature, it's content, it's pie. I sometimes have some of that. Nice. Sometimes a lot.
You have 1 lifetime pro point. Quite an achievement. Do you consider yourself to be a professional Magic the Gathering player?
No.
No?
Not a bit.
How does it feel to be the Rebecca Black of Magic?
Well, sometimes I do play Magic on Friday. It's time to get down and sling cards on Friday.
You're well known for your unique voice and contagious laugh, so much so that people around the office have been known to do an Evan Erwin impression. I believe we have some footage of that. Excellent, that's fantastic. My question is, can you do an Evan Erwin impression?
When you really push it, you can get really southern. And, like, hello everybody, this is Evan Erwin, and welcome to Magic Show, and Warren Instigator's the best thing ever, and whip-a-doo, time reversal, y'all. Like, you can keep going.
That's not bad. That's not as good as Reedy's, but, it's a nice effort.
That's well done. Thank you.
How were you first introduced to Magic?
When I was in high school, I found a loophole in the system. They were changing the scheduling of the high school classes that we were taking so that if I took 2 classes of summer school, I would be able to skip my entire junior year. And I'm like, I just broke the format. Like, how do you not take advantage of this? And all my friends are just like, I love high school. High school is great. And I'm just like, sign me up for summer school because I'm out. And when I got there, I was the only person interested in actually taking those summer school classes and passing them. And the rest were really interested in illegal things and Magic. And so I chose the lesser of the 2 options, of the 2 evils for sure, and learned Magic through the guys that I hung out with in summer school. And just, it went from there.
What's the farthest you've ever traveled for a Magic event?
It depends on whether you mean if I've traveled to cover it or if I've traveled to play in it.
For any Magic event.
Any Magic event, I'm pretty sure Japan was as far as I've ever gone, and that was for the World Championships.
What's your favorite Magic card?
Favorite Magic card is probably Giant Solifuge from Guild Pact, also known as Captain Tickles. because that little spider and my ability to use his crazy and silly name, I'm pretty sure took me to the Invitational in Valencia, or rather the Invitational in Essen, which also let me go to the Valencia Pro Tour for that one Pro Tour point.
What's the most fun deck you've ever played?
Let's see. The most fun deck, I feel like the fun deck thing also comes from like the experience playing it. And there was a point in time in which I played Extended. You know, it's crazy because no one plays that format, but there was a point in time which I did, and it was a green-white deck, and it had Troll Ascetic and Worship, you know, and that was kind of like its shtick. And there was a point in time which I was playing against a blue deck, a blue control deck, and the only way I could win, actually it was a blue control, it was an affinity deck. There was a point in time which I was playing against an affinity deck, and the only way I could win was if I top decked Worship. And it was just like this weird seminal moment. It was one of the last sort of tournaments I played before I got out of competitive Magic. And I did the whirlwind. I just did the slap, and there it was. And then my opponent showed me delay. And I lost. And it was sad. Man. But I had a ton of fun playing that deck, and those experiences, those extreme swings of variance, you know, you just have a ton of fun with.
Which Ravnica guild do you identify the most with?
Probably Gruul, because they so crazy.
What's your opinion of the Invitational?
The StarCityGames.com Invitational, I feel, is one of the best, if not the best, EV tournament that exists right now because of the number of players in it versus the ability for it to give you a return on a couple days of Magic in ways that only a Pro Tour can compete with, but in order for it to compete with that Pro Tour, you have to do exceedingly well in the PT versus the Invitational. So it gives players things to strive for, which I think is terrific, and it gives them a chance to shine, and particularly players that other people might not know a chance to shine. So, you know, people like Max Tietz, or you know, or even local ringers like Charles Gendy, you know, who has Pro Tour success but can also make his name on the Star City circuit playing in our seminal events.
Exactly how many cards have you tapped so others didn't have to?
Endless.
You know, sometimes we'd like to tap cards for ourselves.
No.
There are cards.
No, I do that.
They're my cards. I want to tap them. They're my cards. I'll use them when I need them.
It's a free service.
We don't want you doing that unless you're playing Mero Regery.
Am I a fish?
This is news to you. Earlier you referenced your fondness for Giant Solfuge, or as you call it, Captain Tickles. Be honest with me now. Isn't that the creepiest possible nickname you could have come up with?
You know, you don't know why nicknames work. You just know when they work. So I knew that it worked, and I knew that there was nothing better that was more ridiculous and over the top. I wasn't going for creepy, I was just going for silly.
You may have been going for one thing, but you hit both targets.
Well, two creeps, one stone. I don't know.
You pair up with Brad Nelson for a set release video for every new set. What's it like seeing a younger, more talented version of yourself every time you come into work?
It's humbling. That's what it really is. It's very humbling.
As of this filming, the Magic Show is now on episode number 256. How many more would you say you need before you make a correct prediction?
At least another 256.
Looking forward to it. Evan, thank you for tapping the cards today.
Least I could do.